Gilbert. It's Gilbert Zachary doing our prelude. I want to welcome you to this house of God, Miracle Center for Spiritual Living, 2653 South Taylor Road in Cleveland Heights, Ohio. Our monthly theme is whole no matter what. Our weekly topic is wholeness. And now if you would just relax. We'll do the invocation. Infinite Spirit, in whom we live, move, and have our being, we acknowledge that the presence of God is right here in this service today, right here at 2653 South Taylor Road in Cleveland Heights, Ohio. God is among us. God is with us. God is with each and every person that is on its way to this wonderful, wonderful service. For there is only God. We are a part of God, and God is a part of us. And we know and recognize that in this oneness, that God is working in and through this service. God is working with each and every person after this service. God is working with our minister, Reverend June Clark, who will be delivering our service today. Father, we just give thanks for this time that we have together. And if you're in agreement with me, you can say with me, and so it is, and so we let it be. Welcome again to Miracle Center for Spiritual Living. Our science of mind point of view today is divine nature is in every man. This, the thing itself, briefly let us recapitulate. There is that within every individual which partakes of the nature of the universal wholeness, and, insofar as operates, is God. Let's say that again. There is that within every individual which partakes of the nature of the universal wholeness, and, insofar as it operates, is God. That is the meaning of the word Emmanuel, the meaning of the word Christ. There is that within us which partakes of the nature of the divine being. And since it partakes of the nature of the divine being, we are divine. It reacts to us according to our belief in it. And it is an immutable law subject to the use of the least among us. No respecter of persons, it cannot be bound. Our soul will never change or violate its own nature. All of the denying of it will never change it. All of the affirming of it will never make it more than what it is. But since it is what it is and works in the way that it works, it appears to each through his belief. It is done unto each one of us as we believe. And Jesus said, it is done unto you as you believe. We will say then that in spirit man is one with God. But what of the great law of the universe? If we are really one with the whole, we must be one with the law of the whole, as well as one with the spirit of the whole. If we try to find something difficult to grasp, then we shall never grasp it, because we shall always think of it as being incomprehensible. The mind, which we discover within us, is the mind that governs everything. The mind which we discover within us is the mind that governs everything. This is the thing itself, and we should recognize its simplicity. And this is from the Science of Mind, page 34.4 through 34. And may God just bless those words. And now we're going to have some grand music from the Brooklyn Tabernacle Choir. Fill my cup, running over. There used to be a guy here at the church that would walk around with a cup. And he would say, fill my cup. He said, my cup runneth over. And now, Reverend June.
That's good. Thank you.
Okay.
Well, good morning, good morning, good morning. I too enjoyed that song, and we're going to play it at the end of service too. And maybe we'll play it several times more, because sometimes some of us, we just get touched by certain songs, and so that's a good one. And there's not a whole lot of us here this morning, but if you've been here and you recognize the choir, they have, I don't want to use the word shrunk, but they have reorganized from what they used to be. It used to be very, very large choir, and but this one they've got together is quite lovely. So we will be having them with us again. So good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I hope the smoke didn't keep people asleep, like, fairy dust is all over the city. And when I woke up, I thought, did I forget to turn something off on the stove last night? I know it wasn't true, but it was like, what in the world is going on with the air here? And so here we go. It was much, much lovelier this morning, getting up and all of that good stuff. So I have a couple cards, but I'm going to wait, see if some more folks come in that I received from Hester, and so I'll wait and read their messages, and from Reverend Leora. So this morning, I'm going to go through the bulletin in kind of a different way, referring back to what Jerry read so nicely for us this morning, and the rest of the items that are in the bulletin. So I started out with infinite knowingness, which is at the top of the section that Jerry read, living as wholeness. And I moved back even further in my thinking about what am I going to say, what am I going to focus on. And I went in my head to wholeness, and I took off the W, and I took off the NES, and I wound up with whole, HOLE. And then I played with that. I mean, literally played with that for a while. And I thought, no, that's very misleading when I start talking about the whole of us, the HOLE of us, because it really doesn't exist. We don't have, there's a commercial, I don't even remember what they advertise, but the individual's body shows, and then there's big holes that are transparent through the body. And what product it is, they probably would not be happy to hear me say, I don't know what the heck they're talking about. But I thought about that, and that changed my mind about even thinking about anything that we have holes that express right through us. Like, we're not complete. We're not WHOLE. We have an aspect of us that is a whole, literally. And that's not the truth. Infinite knowingness, as a result of this infinite knowingness, there is an infinite becomingness. So I switched from anything missing within us may or may not be true depending on our perception, but the truth is there is nothing, no, N-O, thing that is wrong, that is incomplete, that is a problem, that is an issue, because infinite becomingness or creation from the beginning. Infinite knowingness, as a result of this infinite knowingness, there is an infinite becomingness or creation. Before we are even, what do they say, a speck in mama and daddy's eye or thought process, we're already gaining knowledge through them, through the osmosis of the process of just being unified, an egg and a sperm, being unified, we're already knowing, and we're already creating, and we're already being who we are as infinite connection, from infinite connection of two processes. And we become, and we become, and we become, and we know K-N-O-W, and we know K-N-O-W. Now, all these interesting words have a connection. Now, N-O-W. No, N-O. It's an interesting set of thought patterns, and it's infinite, it's permanent, it's divine, it's easy, even though I'll claim it. You may not. If you don't, that's great. Even though sometimes it is difficult to believe that we are all of that and so much more. And is there more to be after I said that? That we are all of that is enough. We're enough, we're enough, we're enough. We're enough even when we don't know that we're enough. If that makes sense. And there's an expression, you don't know what you don't know. And I believe that's the truth. There's an awful lot of things, awful, not awful in the sense that they're bad, but there are a lot of things that I don't know. Some things I know a little bit about. I think in comparison, there's more that I really don't know than there is that I think that I know, which turns out to be incorrect, if you can figure that one out. So that's the beginning. That's the beginning. Knowingness, there is an infinite becomingness or creation. What are we creating? When I wake up and I smell smoke, what did I create? An issue, a problem, a dumb mistake. Oh, did I leave something on the stove? In reality, I know I didn't, but I have done that. So that makes it a truth. It makes it true. But the way when I opened the blinds and the sky was looking and I was sniffing the air, I actually made it a bigger problem than it was, because then I didn't know what to believe. And when you don't know what to believe, again, I can only speak for myself, then I get confused. Then I think I know, and I don't know anything. I had no substance, no truth, no guidelines that way up in Canada, wherever else they said it was coming from, I had no concept, no knowledge, no awareness, nothing in my brain that could conjure up a fire in Canada affecting me in my bed. Could not make any connection because I was not aware. When I turned on the television, heard someone that I trusted their information was accurate, I relaxed. It's still the same air, still the same smell, but it took information. It took a sense of understanding, a sense of becoming, a sense of awareness in that simple situation, which, if it had been, well, I'll use another example. If I had been in Hemet, California, where I lived for a long time, I was right at the beginning of the street, Florida, who went straight through town, which just didn't take very long, and up the mountain. The city was at the base of a mountain that is full of beautiful trees, also full of burned tree stumps. Now, if I had been there, smelled that acidy smell, and opened my blinds and seen smoke, my reaction would have been entirely different because I know what I know about forest fires. I didn't know anything to the degree about forest fires except related to my current status where I lived. So I say all that to bring into our minds, what do we do with what we know, and what do we do with what we don't know, because we can't do anything about it because we don't know it. Some of those nice circular thought patterns that run through my mind sometime. And I'm tying all this in to the creation, as it says here. Creation is made manifest. This is evolution. Evolution is change. Evolution is what has been going on, and I don't know when it started. Maybe some of the great scholars can maybe pinpoint it, but the evolution itself of man is supposedly visible in a viable study. What is religion for us? What is science of mind for us? I grew up learning the Catholic faith because my parents had made that choice, had converted to Catholicism. Many of you maybe started with your parents being in science of mind. I don't know. I know a lot of ministers, children kind of tagged along with their parents, being interested in what their parents were interested in. So we may have people here who have an origin of no faith at all in the home, no religious acumen in the home. So maybe whenever you made a choice about doing something about your spiritualness, your inner life, your world as it turns, perhaps science of mind was your first venture. It was not for me. It was Catholicism. And then as I grew up, got older, things changed in life, attitudes changed, things that I did, things that I didn't do changed. There's an expression that some use, they got saved. I didn't feel I got saved, but I did feel that I stopped. I stopped looking at anything that was spiritual. anything that I thought could answer my questions about what I did, when I did it, and how I did it. And I didn't ask because I thought I knew everything. Life was tripping along as it did. At the time, didn't even know when it was bad. BAD. And we could go on about that word within itself. We didn't know what we didn't know. At least I didn't. I just moved through the system of life based on I know everything. Everything I do is correct, even when it's a mess. It's my mess. So as I look at wholeness, I now know that I am at 99.99999 into infinitum of being whole, perfect, and complete. I can say that that is my truth, but I don't know everything. And the expression, God ain't finished with me yet, that's the definite truth. And it's fun. It's fun most of the time. It's most of the time getting new awarenesses in, excuse me. It's okay. Thank you. I'll just stand. Getting most of awareness is to be the truth, to be the truth of who I am. And yet I know there's so much more to do, so much more to be, so much more to be open to. And that's for me, is the wholeness. It's the big fat donut, and it has a hole in it. And you can start nibbling on that donut, and all you get, if you start at the outer edge and move into it, all you get is a hole that needs to be something done with it. So you back up and you get to another spot on the edge and you start nibbling at that, seeing how your life goes. And you get to the inside and there's a hole. So it's like God says, play with me. It's the next sentence here. God, your silent partner. We are in partnership with the infinite mind. We never stop. We never stop going backward. We can't, but we do. We go back to, I wish I could have done, that didn't work out too well. So what are you going to do about it? You're going to go back and you're going to take another nibble of this big allness that is available to us. And it's okay. I go back as far as I can about certain subjects, only to argue with myself, knowing that the subject didn't go very well, but knowing I still was right. You ever do that to yourself? Well, that didn't work out very well, but I was right. So that creates another thought pattern for me of being strong enough, to being objective enough, to be looking at real truth and give it another try, give it another evaluation point. Don't just let stuff that when it occurred seemed to be the perfect answer. But again, because God is all there is, and we are becoming, always becoming, if we're smart, if we're true to God's desire for us, we can look at ourselves in the eye and know that, yes, that worked out at that time. Maybe it really didn't work out, but I'm mature enough. I'm spiritual enough. I'm aware enough of who I am now that I can reevaluate the past. We can't go back, but we sure can restructure. We can restructure our truth. We can restructure who we are as spiritual entities of God expressing in this life. And I hope that it doesn't hurt too much. I don't think it ever hurts too much, but I think we can be fair to ourselves. Look at what we have done. Pat ourselves on the back. Do something again, but not in the same way. We have the strength. We have God's persistence. We have God's willingness to give us another chance, to do a redo, or look at it and say, okay, that's the way it was. But one thing I know for sure, that I am a divine expression of God, and I can shift into alignment anything that I want to be of service to me, to my growth, to my wholeness, living with wholeness. Whatever was is obviously something that was perfect because we did it. And I don't know if that makes sense to you. But for myself, I have to look. I was perfect then. I'm perfect now. So there's the song, there is nothing to change. But there is. And I don't know if I'm explaining it to myself and hope that you understand, or you do it in your own mind and you understand who you are. Haven't changed much. Maybe stretched out those limbs and those hands and all the whole body is different and changed. We're still the same essence that we started with. Whenever God declared between that sperm and that egg getting together, no matter whether it's animal kingdom or any kingdom that God put together and created itself, it's perfect. What we do with the perfection, what we do with the perception of who we are, kind of mucks it up sometime. But be brave, be whole, be complete, be who you are, what you are, especially when a third entity, how do I put this without sounding like it's separation? We're one, we're whole. There are a lot of ones and wholes everywhere, present, that's all there is. So whenever one whole person, will do people because that's what we are, one person maybe not even whispers in your ear to tell you who you are, what you are, and how you ought to do it, we gotta do something, not violently, never violently, but we take our evolution into our own heart, into our own beingness. Do we run away from what we're looking at, or do we run to what we're looking at? Who am I? Why did I do that? Why did I say yes when I meant no? Why did I say no when I meant yes? I don't know about you, but I don't like asking people some questions. Even at my age, I haven't stopped doing that. I will ask a question. Then I get a doggone answer that I really don't like. Why did I ask the question in the first place? I know who I am. I know what I am. I know how I am. I know that I am, I hear the expression, a child of God. And one Sunday in California, I decided I'm no longer a child of God, is what I told the congregation. I'm an adult of God. So that created a big metamorphosis amongst the group. Am I a child of God? Am I an adult of God? Actually, nothing has changed. I am the I am. That's all that matters. The word child has its own meanings, and there are some times that I have so much fun feeling like a child, being like a child, that it's just wonderful to just be a child. So there's nothing negative that comes into play about who we are. If you think there is something negative about you, don't ask the question, what do you think's wrong with me? If you're like me, very, here I am, you can tell me anything. And then when it's said, I want to go cry in a corner because it hurts. And does it hurt because it's true? Or does it hurt because you accept somebody else's truth that is maybe not true? So in this reading that Jerry did, it's the depression, the misunderstanding, the maladjustment, the frustration which we may have taken place in my life, in our lives, is now eradicated. It disappears. If you don't let it in, it's impossible for it to affect you. And just a little voting, little saying here. You knew I was a snake when you let me in. And that's true about 99.9 of what we do. We know because we're in the now. And you knew that before you did whatever you decided to do in this life. So instead of beating up oneself, this depression word, the misunderstanding, before, I've told you before, I'm a jumper. Before you jump into the world outside of ourselves, which there is none, so you can't really blame anybody. You have to look at who you are, what you are doing, why you are doing it. If it's not what you want to be or stay as, then who's going to change it? We're infinite. We're Superman. We're the Green Lantern. We're any hero. We're a shero. I have a shero that knows she's my shero. And I tell her a lot of times, you're my shero. Pull that shero, or if you happen to be a male, you got a shero in you anyway, and women have a hero within us too. So maybe just stop. Just stop. Is this really me? Is my life showing up differently at different times, different spaces, with different people? Who am I? Who am I really? Am I whole? Am I complete? Am I perfect? And I know that there are people, I think I've said it before here, that as an adult, deciding to, well, one thing, go to religious science church, which started it all, and was a practitioner for 10 years, I think, before deciding to go into ministry. And when I would mention that I was going to be a minister, you ever get that? You're going to be a minister? That kind of makes you stop and think, my goodness, who am I? What do you think of me? But I know who I was when I made that decision. And I know who I am right now. It was not easy. Working as a teacher, being widowed twice, moving through life again. That's not a big deal. A lot of people have experienced whatever is their big thing. But I didn't let the chippies deter me from taking 4.5 years. The classes are constructed for 3 years. I took, and my sister, Reverend Leora, we took 4.5 years, almost 5 years, as we moved at our pace, as we moved at our willingness to drop the depression about anything that was getting in the way, money or what people thought about it, or can I really get to this meeting when my car isn't running, and anything that would try to move the key out of the lock. But being locked into who you know, who you are, and who you want to be, and you are who you be, then you're on the right path to do and be as God said. You are a divine expression of it. So on page 4, let's see, 235, the third paragraph, it says in the textbook, the depression, the misunderstanding, the maladjustment, the frustration which may have taken place in my life is now eradicated. Gone. Nada. No more. Thrown out the window and buried so deeply that it never is able to climb back into your psyche. And we're good. We were good when we started. We're even better when we agree to be the divine essence of truth that we truly are. And whether it's easy, appears easy, whether it appears difficult, the only thing that can result is change, evolution. There is so much going on between, I'll say, the remembrances of childhood that encompass the whole world. None of us in this room can encompass all of history, but we start at a point where we understand and we understood history. To what degree we knew is to be debated. But at some point, we knew that this world that we live in was not safe. It was not a happy place to be as a unit, which would be our country. We knew that many people were afraid of what was going to happen to our United States of America because of what was happening, say, in Europe or in Japan, and in the culture. We knew about that, whether peripherally or whether because there were blackouts in your house in the United States to cover your windows and all that. Some of you don't even know that that happened, except out of history books. Today, what do we know? We know what is being told to us through the media, through the speeches, through what we see, to knowing that, again, young men so far I don't know of any young women, are being killed, destroyed physically, no longer needing to understand whether they are whole or indifferent or whatever because they're gone. And they're gone because our world is again in a state that it was prior to, say, 50 years ago. Don't let that depress you. Don't let that depress you. Get into, here I am right now. I am safe. I am God expressing. I know where there are places, books, churches, phone calls that I can make and listen to that will reorganize my thinking if I think I'm afraid. If I think I'm afraid, you're not afraid. You're perfect. You're complete. Oh, I don't have enough money. You do have enough money. You're whole. You're perfect. You're complete. I'm not really very well. Yes, you are, because you're divine, you're whole, you're perfect and complete. That's the depression crusher in all aspects of our lives. Don't allow what you hear, what you see, and mostly what you think to destroy anything that you are committed to that brings you joy, love, peace, harmony, prosperity, because it's ours to do. It's ours to allow to be what is foremost in our lives. And if it's not there this morning, at this moment, we're going to do a treatment before we leave here today. And you will absorb it or you won't. But as long as you hear the words, because we're all one, you're going to wake up to it, either positive, and it has to be positive because God is all there is. Something happened the other day in talking with some people in a non-connected manner. If you've been to, well, for example, this was a doctor's appointment. Sitting, people sit in their chairs and we all act like we don't see the other person most of the time. But every once in a while you get in a group and somebody will say something. Ain't it awful? And this was an ain't it awful conversation between a couple people that were sitting there. So one was sure that it ain't it awful is true. The other person was being polite by not responding back and listening. So both of them are right, standing up for what they believe. But it was not a conversation that became on the side of the person who was doing the listening. It didn't affect them to the point where they just wanted to jump over and put the person on the ground and say, now, that is not true. Why are you telling me this? But this is what's going on in their mind. They're both right, within their right to think and speak however they choose. So there's no discussion, there's no right or wrong answer. But if you can hold on to your own passions, your own beliefs, your own joys, your own life, that is what is going on within you as you, the way you believe. For me, it's what comes from reading and listening to people who are here in this room and beyond. If I'm talking to someone that seems to want to upset my order of thinking, that's not wholeness. That's a choice of wholeness, of not joining in with that particular conversation because it does not serve me. So moving through the fact that there is a depression less than, a depression. If you poke or push your arm, or you look at something that is below, it's D, it's below. It's a depression of your thoughts. And it's not horrible. It's not horrible. It's just, as Ernest Holmes says, change your thinking, change your life. You don't have to mouth off in a negative way, but mouth off to yourself and say, get it straight. I'm whole, perfect, and complete. I believe in myself. I appreciate hearing other perspectives, but at this moment, this is what I believe. This is what I live. And maybe just having the attitude of not joining in, somebody else learns from you that maybe they should keep their comments to themselves. Never know. I mean, I think the more real we are with ourselves, that's how we survive. So let me see, what else do I have here? I think I'll slow down a little bit and just, we're going to go through the treatment, a treatment for peace of mind. So it's oftentimes that when I speak or I hear other people speak, that I'm asked to read along and then repeat what I have said, or ask people to repeat. I'm going not to ask you to repeat what I say verbally, that you not have to verbalize. What I would like for you to do is be comfortable in your chairs. Relax yourself into the first thing that hit my eyes when I looked down here was infinite knowingness as the result of this infinite knowingness. There is an infinite becomingness or creation. So as I go through this treatment for peace of mind, it's on page 264 to 265, and you have a copy of it in your bulletin, and that is the pages that it's on in the book. And then I'm going to play that beautiful song. The words to that song just incorporate themselves into what we are believing and accepting and churning around in our minds this morning. So I'm going to read it, and I'm going to read it slowly so that you have time to bring it into your mind and your heart and be heartfelt and understanding. We cannot be in peace until we know that the Spirit is the only cause, medium, and effect in our lives. There is no past, present, and future to it. Evil, this is not part of the prayer, but let me tell you, and I think most of you have heard this before, evil, turn it around, and it spells L-I-V-E. Evil has no history and has never entered into the being or the experience of reality. The mind must come to know and to realize all these truths if it is to have real and lasting peace. We're talking about our mind now, having peace. A treatment such as this will be of great service in acquainting the mind with the truth of its being, who, what we are, our truth, our unique self. Be still and know that I am God. We've heard this many times. Many faiths use the same words. Be still and know that I am God. I am the Christ. For some, that's not easy to think or say, but it's the truth. I am the Christ, the Son of the living God within me. I am the principle of peace within me. I am the manifestation of love within me. My mind is poised in peace and beauty. All sense of fear or doubt is gone. It's gone because it was never there. It is there because it is recognized as such. Do not recognize it. Do not accept it. I rest in calm trust and rely on the law of spirit to bring good into my experience. It's already there. No effort. It's there. It is our experience. It must be recognized. I contend with none, argue with none, and am filled with wonderful peace and light. There is no uncertainty about my future and no fear as a result of my past. I live in an internal now, N-O-W, which is filled with good alone. Goodness and beauty follow me. Peace and joy accompany me. Happiness and wholeness fill my entire being with the realization of love and perfection. I am the Christ, the Son of the living God within me. This inner peace is mine. This inner mind of mine is now divine and complete. It has no worries and no fears. It is whole, complete, and satisfied. I look back over all previous experience and find that it was good and very good. I look toward the future and find that it is good and very good. I look at the present and find that it is also good and very good. God is in all, over all, and through all. I am the Christ, the Son of the living God within me. I am the spirit of confidence. I am poised in love and reason. I am the perfect law of truth and the complete presence of beauty. I am Christ, the Son of the living God within me. And my own personal treatment is the awareness of each of those words as it beats in my heart. I could feel my heart beating heavier as I read, as I felt, as I knew, as I understand. Let that be our awareness in this world that is maybe not as clearly seen as good as we might wish it to be. But we don't need to wish because it is perfect and it is expressing as God wishes it to be. So I would like to play the song again. Listen to the sweet words of the song, the feeling of the beat that is within you, that is within these young people as they bring this beautiful song forward. You need an extra jolt. You need to slap yourself upside the head and say, stop it. Just say, fill my cup.
Yes.
Beautiful affirmation. Before I pass it to Jerry, if he would come on up, I have a card from John Thomas's family. Thank you for your wonderful message and words of comfort. God's continuous blessings be upon you. And that's from John Thomas's family. And I have one here from Dear Reverend June and friends at Miracle. Words cannot express the appreciation and gratitude I feel, so I won't try. I will just say thank you. Thanks so much for the love that was shown, for the dinner and gifts from the bottom of my heart. With love and blessings, Hester and Victoria. Hester Talafario and her daughter. And Reverend Leora Nash also asked me to express her thanks and her love that she just soaked up while she was here, and she'll be back. So I'll turn it over to Jerry.
Oh boy. Thank you, Reverend June. Woo! Let's give her another round of applause. Oh, that song. Oh, it's so wonderful. Fill my cup, Lord, fill it up. Has someone done the offering already? We can come forth and do the offering. Tithes and offering, thank you for your continued financial support. We are grateful for the divine wisdom ever present and available. We thank you for using PayPal or credit card on our website and or mailing in your love offerings to us weekly or monthly. Thank you. And now we'll do our benediction for this wonderful service. If you would just meditate for a minute or two. Just taking everything that we've had. We've had wonderful music. We've had a wonderful message. Going back to the science of mind. Mother, Father God, Father, Mother God. We just give thanks for this time that we've been together. We give thanks for the wonderful music. We give thanks for all of the things that we have heard today from Reverend June. A wonderful, wonderful message. And if you're like me, you'll take these programs home and save some of the sayings in it from Ernest Holmes. We know that each and every person is blessed as they leave here, blessed with safety, blessed with wonderful health, blessed with richness. As we attract to ourselves, we fill it up. And if you're in agreement with me, you can say with me, and so it is, and so we let it be. Amen. Practitioners are available for personal prayer and assistance after service Sunday mornings. Prayer request forms are on the back of the chairs. We may have a few up front here too. And you all may also email your requests to the MCSL email address on the page below. Remember our members and friends in prayer. We have a chair exercise class on Wednesday. We've been having it for quite a while, and even when it's 80 and 90 degrees, we just do stretching exercises. So on Wednesdays from 11 to 12 o'clock, our instructor, Daphne Hill, she always has something that's going to keep us going. So, and there's only a $5 donation. Richard Living Bookstore is available after church. And now we can do the peace song. So if you would gather up around the middle, we'll do the peace song. Thank you, thank you, thank you.